Hi, this is Charlie Seymour Jr.
And this is Dr. Mark Costner.
And you think of us as those create your own legend guys on video. You know, one of the fun things about doing things on video online is how quickly the information can get out there.
Yeah, the problem is it can also destroy your reputation very, very quickly.
It certainly can. I want to share with you a time that was not very happy for me and my family. It was a time that I had hired someone to do some work for me and he didn't deliver the work that he said he would deliver. Then he called me and he wanted me to pay him, and I couldn't pay him for what he hadn't delivered to me. And he threatened me on the phone. And he said he knew where I lived and he would get the money out of me. Well, you can imagine what I was thinking about that. He talked to me about my family and coming to my house to get this. And when I shared this information with my family, you can understand how upset they were.
You know, in my psychology practice, I've often had to deal with people who have had traumatic events happen in their lives. And one of the things that's interesting to notice is that when you're actually physically threatened by somebody, I mean, that's obviously a very traumatic event. A person enters your life, they cross a boundary, they threaten you with harm, whether it's physical harm, harm economically, harm to your reputation, but that's a real person. You know, it's like you walk out of your house one day and you find that someone has spray painted information on the side of your car, an insult, a slur, on the side of your house. I mean, you feel violated, you feel traumatized by that. But again, it's a physical thing. You can actually, as upsetting as that is, you can deal with it. You can paint over. You can have that car painted over. You can paint over that information, and that information is gone.
The police came. I thought I had to call the police. He was threatening me personally. He said he knew where I was. So I called the police, and the police took care of this. It really was only 2 or 3 weeks until it was all taken care of. And then I saw what was said about me online.
But when someone damages your reputation on the internet, you've built up this whole image, you've created your own legend maybe, and now it's been damaged just like that house that has been painted with spray paint or the side of your car. How do you get rid of that? That's the issue. You can deal with the person, but now you've got information that is just damaging you. And so the house, you paint it over. The car, you get it repainted. But imagine this, you took care of it. You thought you had finally cleared up the problem and laid it to rest. But the next morning, you got up and you walked out the door and there it was again. It's like some kind of magic paint that keeps bleeding through your efforts to wash it over and correct it. That's what the internet is like, because you may have gotten rid of it from one source, but you can't stop it from spreading. You can't stop someone thinking something's amusing and gossiping and spreading that information around from one site to the next, one blog to the next, people's Facebook profiles.
It took us a while to figure out how to move that from being online to getting it out of where people were seeing it. But it was devastating to see that. Can you imagine how my family felt? My daughter, my other daughter, my wife felt seeing things said about me online. And it wasn't until we learned how to move things out of there that we were comfortable again. Oh sure, it took us a while to get past the scare of what this guy might physically do to us. But it was weeks until we could figure out how to get that off of the internet.
I mean, normally we're the happy-go-lucky, create your own legend guys, building that positive image. Well, it turns out we've learned how to use that same energy to deal with this illness, and that's what we want to talk to you about.
You know, Dr. Mark, I still get chills thinking about that story at times and the fear that was in my wife's eyes. And to see that reputation online before we learned all the lessons on how to help that, it still gives me chills. And if that affects you the same way, if you're finding things about yourself, we want you to go up here and put your name and email address in. We've got a lot more information for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Dr. Samuel's story here. Obviously, that's not his real name, and we've changed the circumstances to keep things confidential. But, you know, normally people talk about things going viral on the internet as though it's a good thing. Well, viruses aren't a good thing, and negative information can travel very, very fast and have a devastating effect on your reputation.
Right, so we're here for you. We'd like you to sign in up here. Let us share some more information with you on the other side of this note.